Hi, and welcome to this video, which is actually a follow-on from my MongoDB video. In that video, we created an address book, but it was a command line application. What I want to do is add a GUI to that uh, program. Instead of typing in on the command line, I want to have a GUI that you just press a button and it'll submit all the information for you. So to do that, I'm going to actually be using WX Python. If you're using Windows, all you have to do is type in pip install install WX Python. And that will install it, but I've already got it installed. If you're using Linux, you will have to use this link here. So yeah, that's for Ubuntu. If you plan to use one of the other Linuxes, like Fedora or CentOS, you just copy the URL here, which I'll put in the description below. You just copy that link, and if you open up, there you go. You can choose which Linux you want. So you just replace the Ubuntu 8.04 with whatever Linux you want, and then slash WX Python, and I'll install it for you. So, without further ado, let's actually get down to the actual program. So, before we can actually do anything, we need to import WX, and that's as simple as typing import WX. So that will import WX Python. Next thing we need to do is create a instance for our app. So that's just app equals WX.app. Next thing we're going to do is we will create our frame. So if anyone has ever done any GUI programming before, you've probably heard of frames and panels. So a good analogy I like to think of is a table. So on a table, which is going to be our frame, or in this case we're calling it a window, and then on top of your table you will put your tablecloth, which we are going to call our panel. And then onto your tablecloth you will put your plates, your knives, your forks, or in our case our widgets. So our first widgets that have to go onto our panel are basically static text or labels. So I am going to create that by using wx.statictext. Then I'm telling to put onto the panel, and I call it this here is for last name, first name, phone number, label. So we actually know what we have to enter into our text boxes later on. This here is actually what appears on the label, the actual text for the label. And this here is our position. So this tells us that it's going to be 00 is going to be in the top left hand corner of the of our panel. And then this here means that it's going to be 30 pixels below that one. And then another 30 pixels below that one, 30 pixels below that one. You get the idea. So once we have our labels, we actually need our text boxes. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so there's our text boxes, and what I've done is I've just named them uh, lname dot text box. Should be okay. If there's any errors, we'll find out soon enough. And we're telling it to put onto the panel, and we're given a position. So we're telling it to start 75 pixels to the right, and then our size is going to be actually, I'm setting it to I think 200 pixels for the size of the the width of the text box. So once we have our text boxes, we're going to add in our submit button. And the next thing we have to do is, once we have our submit button, as you can see, it's the same type of thing, WX stop button, and then we add it to the panel and put it in our position. Like, once you've done one of these, you've done them all really. So that's what I like about GUI program. It's just mostly copy and paste. Then what we have to do is we have to actually show our frame, or as we call it, our window. So we just say window.show is true, and then we have to initialize our app, which is done I think using an app.main loop. So let me just get that over. Now if I just save all that, hit this here, we got we got an error. What is the problem? Invalid syntax. Line 13. There we go. I'm missing a bracket. All fixed. So there we go. There's our GUI. At the moment, it's just a very dumb GUI. Does nothing. If I hit submit, it doesn't do anything. So we're going to change that. By doing that, the first thing we need to do is we actually need to create a function to actually get our text from our text boxes. I'm just going to do one text box. So below our text boxes, we're going to just create a function called onSubmit, and we're going to give it a pass in a argument called event. You probably can call it whatever you want, but it needs to take at least one argument. So, and then I'm just saying print, and then to get the value, it's just the name of your text box. So mine is lname underscore text box dot get value. And once we have that done, the next step is to actually bind that function to our button. And as we only have one button on this one, we're going to use the wx.event button. So here you go, submit.bind wx.event button on submit. So that actually binds it to our submit button. Now, if we had another button, it'd be basically the same code. It'd be like, I don't know, retrieve dot bind whatever, and then the actual function to get it. So yeah, so I'll just save this and just run the program again. We'll just type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit submit. There we go. So that's how you can create a very simple GUI in WX Python and get the get text from a text box. Now in the next video in this series, what we'll be doing is we will be using that GUI to actually update our database. I probably will tidy this code up a bit by putting it into a class, just to make it cleaner. I just wanted to show you this time around how easy it was to create a very, very, very simple GUI, and how quickly it can be done. It only took me what, a few minutes to do it. So yeah. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and like. Give me a thumbs up, and maybe subscribe or whatever. My next video will not actually be a programming video. It's actually going to be one in a series of videos I hope to do, which is going to be a quick test drive of different Linux distros, where what I'll do is I will just install it on a virtual machine. We'll see how the install process works, and then maybe just use it for 5 to 10 minutes, installing a few applications, whatever, and just a very quick test drive, just to give you a quick idea what it's like, and then if you like it, you can go on and install it or whatever. But that's probably going to be my next video. So thanks again for all the views that you've given me over the last week, and likes. I've actually gone up by 8 subscribers, which is good for me. So yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. So bye.